It's the country's #1 RVing radio show, sponsored by RVtravel.com, with your host, Alan Warren, the RV Wingman.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Welcome, and glad you are with us. We have got one of our good friends on the line, and he is the guy that has the booming voice on many of our elements for the show, and we're lucky enough to have him on every couple of months. He's our songwriting, guitar picking, RV and musician buddy, Mr. Roger Hurricane Wilson. How you doing, Roger?
Too good.
Too good. I love hearing that. You know, we're only like 3 months or less from the kickoff of your Rolling RV rally.
It's coming up fast, man. I'll tell you what. I guess they say the time flies later on, but it's doing that now.
For our listeners who may not know who you are or what you're going to be doing, can you kind of give us a quick overview, please? Yeah,
basically calling it Roger Hurricane Wilson's Rolling RV Rally, and it's just a way for people to get together. I've been playing RV parks, I guess about since 2006, and but RVing since '98. And but anyway, I've kind of narrowed it down to a few places. I only go out for about a month now, as opposed to 6 months like I used to on the road. So we're going to start off first weekend of August at Pine Country RV Park in Belvedere, Illinois, and then we're going to go over to Afton, Oklahoma on the second week to Grand Lake RV. There we go. They're all running together. And then I'll be out in your area hanging out. I'm going to be making some appearances at the music conference in Austin, Texas, the third week of August. And then the fourth week, I'll be over there at Big Chief with you doing a show and trying to meet folks. And then after that, the stop number 4 is going to be at the Renningsville Dust Till Dawn Blues Festival Labor Day weekend. That's over in Renningsville, Oklahoma, which is just outside of Muskogee, about 25 miles, right near Chakotah, which is Carrie Underwood's hometown. There's a blues festival there that we're going to cap off the Rolling RV Rally there.
You know, Roger, you sound like a pretty smart guy. Why would you do this in August, brother? It's only about 100 degrees when it's a cool day.
Well, I really don't know. It's just kind of
you know why? Because I invited you.
Well, that too. But yeah, basically, I've been going out in the summer. Sometimes I was starting in July. It's really crazy. I mean, August to me is still summer, but everybody's starting school back here in Georgia on August 1st, which this is like wrong to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just kind of work it out that way, and I sort of base it around, I guess, your thing kind of coincided great, and for the last 15 years, I've been, at that blues festival at Labor Day weekend, and that's what I call a Dust Till Dawn, because the music doesn't start until 6 in the evening. And they have 3 stages. They have an outdoor stage, a big outdoor stage, and an indoor stage, and a back porch stage. Because it's so hot in Oklahoma that you're right. But then the music goes till 5 in the morning from 6 p.m. And it's just about 30 acts coming through there every year. It's just that's the way to top it off, I think.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. Tell me about your gig before you were Roger Hurricane Wilson, what you are now. Honestly, way back in the day, you worked over at CNN, at WTBS for Ted Turner. You must have had some experiences over there. In fact, I know you did. So tell our audience about some of those, because when I heard this, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is awesome.
Well, what happened was, I first started out right out of high school teaching guitar lessons because I'd been playing since I was 9. So I made my living teaching and playing from like age 19. But also I got a little job at a radio station, and I had gone to private school before that and had they had a closed circuit TV station, and I took some broadcast courses in college and all that. And so I just kind of made my own way, and then one radio station led to another. Finally, I was working the Atlanta market in radio back in the 80s, and before all the radio stations had been clear channeled, all down to where they're all down the hall from each other. They were across town going head to head for ratings, and I was the only guy really in town that had the keys to like 8 different radio stations, and I was going in and doing sports and traffic and anything you could possibly do. So I had all this crazy experience, and then I ended up I made a call to the CNN radio network, and I went to I got hired at CNN Radio on their radio network, and I was there for 2 years from 86 to 88. And within the company, when Ted owned the company, you could apply within and get positions. And I felt like I wanted to, progress. And so I just started signing up started answering some of the ads within the company for different jobs. And I'd written out so many, applied for so many jobs, I forgot what I was applying for. And I got hired on one of them. And they brought me up to the newsroom and put me in charge of the newsroom for the next 8 years on the weekends, along with another lady. We were like a 2-person department, timing the news programs, cut-ins and everything. And that happened in '88. And then it was sort of, smooth going, tape programs, regular news. And then the first Gulf War kicked in, and that just changed everything. Everything went to the 24-hour deal. And then all of a sudden things were starting, and back then, Saddam Hussein, for instance, was listening to CNN headline news, and the writers were having to write a certain way because he was listening and didn't want to give away any positions, for the military. So anyway, but I lasted there 10 years total, and I just had some wonderful experiences. I mean, I went into to the White House, and I covered all kinds of different things, and it was just a mind-blowing experience. But it was just all the little broadcast experience that I had before that on a resume that got me in there.
But I want you to tell me about your experiences with World Championship Wrestling. That's where I want you to take me in this segment.
Well, okay, WCW was owned by Ted, so that was kind of a sideline, and that was overtime for me. And so I got to, I was pulling cable for them and working with guys like Ric Flair and Sting and Sid Vicious and the Fabulous Freebirds and all these guys, and it was just a real blast. I mean, we had and then for a while I was stage manager, and there were a few fun little adventures in there that happened.
So, you were friends, evidently you and Hulk Hogan, you worked out with Hulk Hogan and some of these big guys and got to know them a little bit.
Well, that was funny because after I left CNN, wrestling was still hiring me with my band to come in there and play a couple of the wrestling matches. So I would actually take the band in, and we would sit up in the ring and play for the audience about 30 minutes before the wrestling match started. And the one moment that stands out was in Augusta, Georgia. We were out back at the Civic Center loading up after we played, and Hulk Hogan came out there and we started talking a little bit, and I just got done doing a version of Jimi Hendrix's Voodoo Child, and Hulk came out there, and he used to be a bass player, which was of all things. And so he came out there and he says, man, I really dig your version of Voodoo Child,
Yeah.
So, well, thanks, man. That's cool. And so I didn't think much more about it, but we talked and, and would see each other once in a while around the CNN complex. But then later on, I just happened to come across TV where I wasn't working with them, and they were Hulk comes running out, in the smoke out of the tunnel and all that, and here's Voodoo Child playing behind him, the music for his theme. And I thought, well, that's kind of funny because he came out, and he got up. And I didn't write the song. If I had, I might have been making a lot more money, I guess.
You just played it and got him excited about it, and then he used it.
Yeah, he used it. But then push ahead some other time, I was playing a gig somewhere, and I had my youngest son with me. Of course, he's 31 now, but he was about 7 or 8 years old then. And I played Voodoo Child, and my youngest son Ryan comes up and he goes, Dad, you were playing the Hulk Hogan theme song. I'm going, no, Ryan, there's a long story here. We got to talk, son. and I filled him in on the history of that. But it was just little things like that just kind of stand out in your mind, and they just make the adventure of reminiscing about it all.
And real quickly, in about a minute, no more than a minute, tell me about the time the TV camera's rolling and you got cold cocked by accident. What happened? Tell us that real quick. Did I lose you? Are you there, Roger?
I think somebody just cut in on something.
All right, there you go. So now we got 30 seconds. What happened?
Now, basically, there was a guy named Paulie Shore, and he was one of the sideline guys in the ring, and he used to carry a cordless phone around like he was talking on the phone. And it was a bunch of action going on, and he actually swung around and cold cocked me in the side of the head with the phone, and he didn't mean to. But anyway, we were on camera and filming, so I just rolled on the floor and act like I got smacked and turned over with it. And but then after that, he was apologizing. He goes, "Man, I'm so sorry. I said, "Don't worry about it. We're cool." But my head's still ringing from it.
All right, Roger, we're going to jump for a quick timeout. You hang on, all right? And on our guest line is my RV and musician friend, Roger Hurricane Wilson, who just so happens to be doing a private concert for us at our campground in Central Texas this August. You can learn more about the event on Roger's Facebook page. Miss Katie should have a link up.
Yes, I do. I have a link in the stream, and you can type in the search bar on Facebook to find out more. It's the Rollin' RV Rally.
All right, so Roger, talk with me about your enjoyment of RVing, because I know you are an RVer and you really love it.
Well, before I do that, I want to thank Goose for correcting me, because I knew I was saying the name wrong, and I couldn't remember who Paulie Dangerously was, but I knew that Goose would get it right, and he did, and I appreciate that.
Like I said, he's the Howard Cosell of wrestling, I guess.
Yeah. No, I knew I was wrong going in, but it was like the first thing that came to me. So,
but
anyway, that RVing, back in '98, my wife is the one that got me in, and my wife Jolie, she basically got me into a 31-foot Winnebago Brave, and I started driving around, hauling the band around, and finally I landed in some, stopped in some parks, but I would go from gig to gig, and then I just kind of stumbled into. I started working for 1,000 Trails, that network of campgrounds. They have about 50 parks, and I think I've played all 50 of them, at least some of them. And so just kind of, I met a lot of great folks. I hit an audience that I never would have heard, playing in joints and festivals and everything. It was just a whole other clientele. And then it finally just got to be to where it was. I just liked it. I had more independence and more, solitude and that kind of thing. And it just, it really just evolved into where I like doing it.
In a roundabout way, because you're an RVer and I'm an RVer, that's how you and I got connected when I heard you're the, what do you call it, the unofficial RVers National Anthem?
Yeah, Home Sweet Home in My RV, right.
All right. You mean this one?
I'm at home wherever I go, living in my house of wheels.
Yeah, that's the one.
I can go wherever I want and do whatever I feel. Nothing can stand in my way or keep me from being free. I'm at home wherever I go, home sweet home in my RV.
So I guess you're going to be playing that song when you're performing at our campground, huh?
Oh yeah, I'll do a version of that for sure. And all those verses in there are true, especially the one where I looked in the mirror one time and saw my air conditioner lid going down the road. So yeah,
I think RVers can relate to that. The unofficial anthem, national anthem of the RVer. So tell us a little bit more about your Rollin' RV Rally, if you would. And it starts up in less than 90 days. Once again, it begins in Illinois.
Yeah, it's going to be in Belvedere, Illinois. It's about 2 hours west of Chicago at the Pine Country Campground. And basically, you just I've been posting on the Facebook page all the stops and the contacts. So anybody that's interested in joining up with us, to just call the park there and speak with the manager who's listed in the little directory that I put up on the Facebook page. I've kind of documented like an itinerary of all the stops. And it's nothing fancy. It's just people getting together. I'm going to play a show on each Saturday of each of these stops, and just kind of get to know people. And, people in RVs, they like to get out and go somewhere. And so this is kind of an excuse for it. I think you said that your place was selling pretty well. I'm not sure what the other ones are doing, but I've heard talk about people, possibly showing up. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people already booked. In fact, we have one cabin left. I think we have like 20 sites left is all. So I know we're going to be packed. It'll be August. It'll be hot, but it'll be a really good time. And because of where we are located, it makes it easy for you. Austin is a music capital, I guess, like I don't know what they call it, but it's a music capital. Everybody likes to go there. And so we're only about an hour away from Austin. So that's very convenient for you attending that big convention.
Oh, yeah, that'll be great. And I played Austin back in like 1995. I did one of the joints on 6th Street, and I've been through there a time or two. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being out there and meeting some of the folks. And this is just kind of this is like a road less traveled for a lot of musicians, but it's something that I just fell into, and it's a real niche. And I started out, like I told you earlier, a 31-foot Winnebago Brave, Class A. But I went through it. I just downsized gradually, and I'm pulling a Casita now, so I can pull into 2 parking spots anywhere.
Heck yeah! Well, I know that we've talked off camera many, many times, and that you could be retired, but there's something about music that it really is in your soul, and you are teaching children. I learned recently you're going into schools and teaching children guitar lessons. What is that all about? Tell me what it is and why you did that.
Well, I've been teaching guitar lessons for 45 years. I still teach at the store one day a week and a couple hours a week at my home studio where I am now. But I get contracted by schools now and then, and tomorrow's my last day. I've been doing 2 weeks. I actually have to get up early and go to school here. So, but last week I was teaching the 4th grade Monday through Thursday, and I went in. I've got a PowerPoint presentation of the history of the blues, of how it affected, how it's influenced American music, because all the music we hear, American popular music, was derived from the blues, and it's everything that we've heard came out of the Mississippi Delta. So I have a whole history and PowerPoint on that, and I taught the 4th grade as much as I could of it without boring them to death, but they were really interested, and I took it all the way from slavery on through after the Civil War, on through the beginning of the 20th century when the blues really got documented by W.C. Handy, on through the progression of it to on through Elvis, and it's just there's a whole history there. Once they learn that, then this week the teacher there, a great music teacher, has got a whole bunch of guitars in the class, and so this morning I was teaching 25 kids how to play a little partial blues lick. And my last day to do it is tomorrow.
Do they like it? How do they respond, Roger? I mean, a lot of times, a 4th grader's attention span isn't very long, and they make, here's this old guy. What is he going to teach me? Are they interested?
No, it's not like that at all. These kids are eating it up, and they love it. And the thing about the 4th grade, now I've taught kindergarten, 1st and 2nd before, and I only want to do that once. But the 4th grade, and I love the kids. I mean, all you can really do is play a song or two for them and tell them something, and that's about it. But the 4th grade, 4th and 5th, when it starts moving up, I've done presentations for middle school. I've done it for high school. I've done it for college, and I've also done it for museums. People that donate to a large, well-to-do museum, and I've done presentations there. And it doesn't matter what age people are. Yeah, I can even do it at your place. But no matter what age people are, they don't know where some of this music came from, and they walk out young and old going, well, I didn't know that. And I said, well, that's why I'm here telling you, so you know it now.
What does that feel like for you? Because so much music today, I'm sorry, I know I'm an old guy, but music today, at least the modern music, I don't care for. What are your thoughts about that? Has it got to make you feel good to see some kids that are interested in the roots of where this music came from?
Well, but basically, yeah. But I mean, because for instance, little Steven Van Zandt from the E Street Band and Sopranos, and you know him. He grew up 2 towns from me in Jersey, and he and I are in touch. Well, he's on the road now with his band called the Disciples of Soul, but he's also doing a thing called the Teacher Solidarity Tour, and he's taking school teachers and giving them a seminar of the history of rock and roll, a whole syllabus where they can take it into the schools, into their classrooms, and infiltrate it within their curriculum. Because when you and I were coming along, and I think I'm about a year older than you, but I think when we were coming along, we turned the radio on, and the best art ever made in the world musically for us was commercial. And so when we turned it on, we heard the best music in the world. Mm-hmm. We heard Sam and Dave. We heard Otis Redding. We heard James Brown. We heard all these great songs by these great artists, and it was commercial. But that's not happening anymore. So these kids, they're coming up with whatever they can come up with, but unless you tell them where it came from and all the great stuff that was there, they eat it up when they find out about it. But turning on the radio today, what do you hear? You don't hear anything.
Yeah, it's certainly not the same. Listen, Roger, we're down to below a minute in time left. I can't wait till August gets here, and I know you're excited as well. How do people find out more information about you, Roger? And then they can, let's send them to one place, and then they can connect about the rally and everything else. Where do we send them?
Just send me an email at roger@hurricanewilson.com, ROGER, no D, ROGER @hurricanewilson.com. And I'll respond back with my information and everything. But the Facebook page is also Roger Hurricane Wilson's Rolling RV Rally 2019. And that's on Facebook. All you got to do is request to join that, and then I'll bring it in. But the website's hurricanewilson.com. And they can visit there and find me through that also. But email is an easy way, and I'll respond to each person.
Awesome. Got to let you go. Thank you. Catch you next time. Talk to you soon.
Hi, this is Goose from the RV Show USA, and these are today's winners. To ensure you get your $50 gift card, make sure you send an email to info@thervshowusa.com And if you would like to enter to win a $50 gift card of your very own, head over to the RVShowUSA.com and sign up for our email list. And if you like this video and would like to see more, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's right over there. And turn on the notifications so you will be notified whenever a new video comes out for the RV Show USA. And as always, thank you for watching.